2 days ago, I made a video saying Commander was a bad competitive outlet. The CEDH players found that video and with varying degrees of politeness said, well, he can't possibly be talking about us, could he? So let's talk about why CEDH sucks too. Semantics first. CEDH as a power level says we're going to use the best tools possible and do the best job possible to win. I love that. That's a phenomenal premise for this game. It is also the same amount of competitive energy you summon when you brush your teeth and floss. When I say Commander is a bad competitive outlet, I mean it's a poor vehicle for large amounts of competitive passion or emotional investment. It's bad for a couple reasons, but first is that the win rates suck. They suck because this is a multiplayer free-for-all with enough elements of random chance to cosplay a casino. The winningest tournament players in this game win about 45% of the time. Most people are happy to fight for 20. And if you think you're built different, remember that the person who goes first in the turn order is more than twice as likely to win as whoever goes last. I don't care how many heartwarming sports movies you quote, winning is good. Wanting to win is a healthy part of any competitive drive. And if we got asked how much the best players would win in our ideal competition, we might not all lock in 100%, but let's not pretend any of us are picking less than half of the time. Wait, that's not fair. No competition is ideal, and I have it on personal authority from Billy Bob Thornton that perfection is not about the scoreboard. That's right, redefining success around your own effort and your internal feedback loops is better than worrying about winning all the time, which is why it's a real shame that the feedback loop sucks too. Commander is an incredibly complicated game. Cards are weird, people are weirder, and it does not help that most of the people who talk about how to play this game well are presenting arguments they clearly thought of in the shower that can only be vindicated or shamed upon figuring out what your opponent actually drew that game. Now, this level of complexity is very engaging. It makes it a very fun game. And for a competitor, it makes it incredibly difficult to identify where you are actually exercising positive agency versus going, well, I tapped out for a Ristic study when I could have instead tapped my lands to do nothing. That doesn't mean it's impossible to improve, it's just murky. You can always play better if only there was some type of super genius who could teach you, shout out my guy, but even if you do play your cards right, maybe you failed a popularity contest because the politics suck too. Trash talk happens everywhere. If I'm at an away game, I'm getting booed. That's part of it, and I love that part of competition too, but basketball players do not have to verbally negotiate which team is getting the ball each time they come up to the free throw line. The level of social maneuvering endemic to this game is a positive, or at least a non-issue when you're playing high-power Magic with people you actually like, but when you're at a tournament, when the stakes are real and passions are high, it can lead to some of the worst vibes this side of Ted Nugent's green room. This one, I will say, I have the most hope for because I know people and I see people being the change this format needs. So you tally all of this up and you get a contest where you are losing almost all of the time, often to things outside of your control, where it's difficult to tell if you even were making the right decisions along the way, and you manage all of this while being soft-core bullied by somebody you have to maintain an active dialogue with. This is the type of variable and high mental pressure that will either turn you into a competitive Zen master, which does happen, I know these people, or it turns you into a raging dickhole, and I have heard enough tournament horror stories to know how that one's shaking out so far.